Hi, I'm Michael Valitutti. I want to welcome you to Michael's Gem Talk. Today's topic is going to be Lapis Lazuli, and I really love this stone. It is one of the most famous opaque gemstones out there, ladies and gentlemen, and one that really goes back literally to ancient times and has such an incredible pedigree. First of all, let me give you a little bit of background of the gemstone. Lapis is all completely natural, and it is the only gemstone that's actually technically a rock. It's actually a gem rock. It's made up of three distinct minerals that are compressed together. Lazurite, which is what gives you the blue color. Pyrite, which of course is these wonderful sort of flecks that you see here, pyrite, and then calcite. Calcite will be that white veining that you see here. So it's all these three minerals together that are mixed together by Mother Nature that actually make up lazuli. Now, some people will say, is it lapis? Is it lapis lazuli? Is it lapis lazuli? However you want to pronounce it, honestly, it's quite all right. I've seen it pronounced both ways. I've been in this business for 40 years. It really doesn't matter. Mohs scale, it's about 5 to 6 on the Mohs scale, but it's a very tough gemstone. So lapis is a stone that you can knock around, and it's really quite durable because, after all, it is technically a rock, so it's not a problem for you to wear it all the time. The main sources for lapis is Afghanistan, Siberia, Russia, and Chile, with some of it coming out of Africa. Interesting story about lapis. Did you know until 1958 that it was the official birthstone for December? That's true. Lapis was, until 1958, the official birthstone for December, and then it was dropped. You know why it was dropped? We were in the middle of a Cold War, and most of it was coming out of Russia. You know history. So it was changed, and that's actually a true story. In 1958, they dropped it and no longer recognized it as the official birthstone for December. It is the 9th wedding anniversary stone. It is the stone of the sign of Capricorn. It is an ancient gemstone, and it dates all the way back, predating the Egyptians. Now, lapis has been used for literally everything. So if you were to take lapis, which I have right over here, and you were to grind it down, you would end up with this incredibly beautiful ultramarine color of blue. And if you were to take that, you could do many things with it. What the Egyptians used to do is they used to take that, and they used to use it to dye their clothing. They used to use it primarily as makeup, believe it or not. And if you go into an Egyptian tomb, whenever you see blue, whenever you see that, it's lapis, believe it or not. Now, anyone has used lapis. The ancient Greeks loved lapis because, of course, it reminded them of the blue color of the ocean. So they used to take lapis, grind it down, and use it to dye the clothing. One of the most famous painters in history, Michelangelo. If you ever visit the Sistine Chapel and you stare at that masterwork above your head, and you look at all the blue of the sky and the clouds, all of it was done with lapis from Afghanistan. He had it specially brought in by ship and by overland by cart. I remember taking the tour there, and they said all the blue that you see there is lapis. So this has been used throughout history. Matter of fact, up until the year 1834, the only source of the color ultramarine in clothing was used by ground lapis. After that point, they discovered a way of using other materials to dye the clothes blue. But that blue that you would see in many of the uniforms during the American Revolution was actually dyed using lapis. So that was a very important source. Now, it just wasn't used for those purposes, which I'm talking about, painting and staining and things like this. It was also used as ornaments because lapis can be carved. And I know that Napoleon Bonaparte absolutely loved lapis, and he would love lapis bowls, and they used to use it for ornaments and clocks. If you ever visit the Louvre Museum, you see that lapis is used in everything from carvings to ornaments to picture frames, you name it. And some of those beautiful fireplace mantles were made with lapis, but also during all this time, it was also used for jewelry. So really, it has such a multi-purpose history. Lapis is excellent for beads. It can be cabbed. You can wear it in earrings. It's very durable. Men love lapis because everyone loves the color blue. Now, when you go to a gem show, like Tucson. This is how you find lapis, and I'm just going to hold the picture right up here for you to get a close-up. But I want to explain something about lapis. Like I told you, lapis is made of course, lazurite. The white veining is calcite, and the little flecks are pyrite. Why is almost all lapis dyed? It's not done to fool you, ladies and gentlemen. It's done because they want to even out the color. As you can see here from this rough, if we were to only cut out the blue part and leave everything else behind, the price of lapis would literally go up 10 times. Very little yield would happen with lapis. So what would happen is that most of this would be discarded. Only little slivers would be taken for having that pure color. So what they do is they dye it to even out the color, because the white calcite will absorb the blue dye, and then it'll appear as one solid mass. So this is why lapis is dyed. It's very, very common. While it is possible to get lapis that's not dyed, it's very rare. I would say at least 90% plus of all the lapis sold in the world in jewelry has been dyed. And that's the reason is because it's hard to get this. Lapis is in big demand these days, and it comes from places like Afghanistan. So getting lapis out of there is not too easy. So when they do get it, and it's great color, they even out that color by doing the dyeing process. So that's the reason that it's dyed, folks. But let's look at some raw lapis, so you get the appreciation of this material. This material is absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at this. This is the way it's found. The color is absolutely beautiful. And like I said, they will find this lapis here, and they will just dye that to even out the color. Very beautiful, very durable. What I love about lapis is that I can literally do anything with it. Now, look what happens. If you take that lapis, and then, of course, you just polish it up a bit, it appears to be darker. It's actually not darker, it's just that it's been polished. If you ever go to a gem mine, they carry a little bit of water, and what they do is they will take the water, they'll splash it on the rock, and all of a sudden it will appear to be darker. The reason is that they're smoothing out the surface. Rough surfaces always scatter light, while smooth surfaces reflect light, and that's why all gemstones are polished. It just makes the color visually appear to be darker when it isn't. It's just the way that light works and the way light travels. Lapis is excellent because overall it's beautiful, it's affordable, it's something that I love to use, that I've always used in Gems on Vogue. I've used it actually. I was selling lapis even when I was doing my gold program. I did a wonderful 18-karat gold ring now once a series, and it was done with diamonds and lapis. It's a beautiful stone with an unbelievable history. Think of it. Napoleon, Cleopatra, Michelangelo, anybody that was anybody has used and touched lapis for thousands and thousands of years. Matter of fact, when they go into Egyptian tombs, and it's actually on display in the basement of the Louvre Museum, they've got these necklaces. And these necklaces are strung, and they date on them. They're carbon dated, 5000 BC, so they're over 7,000 years old. You see the beads, it's lapis, it'll be red coral, and it'll be turquoise. Those were three of the main stones of that ancient time. So even before the pyramids were built, people were using lapis. So never discount it. It's a great, great stone. When we do have it available, I like to offer it to you at the best possible prices. If you want to see some lapis, of course, you just go to gemsonvogue.com. We have excellent, excellent lapis. But if you're into opaque stones, and opaque stones that have a lot of character, lapis is simply the way to go. And what I love about it, you can spend as little as, $50, $40 for a bracelet, or you can have a big elaborate piece done in lapis. It's also excellent for carving. You can get cameos carved out of lapis. But whichever way you go, it's a beautiful stone with an excellent, excellent history. Enjoy lapis. Enjoy everyone that's come before us. All the famous people before us that have enjoyed lapis, and think about all the people in the future that are going to enjoy lapis, including yourself.